True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Hello and welcome to episode 115 of All Things Beauty. You know how we do it here. For the first 15 or 20 minutes or so, we're actually going to be right here on this platform, which is Facebook Live. So if you have any questions, please make sure that you ask while we're here on this format or platform. You already probably know this, but we'll do introductions anyway. I'm Amethyst Black, and I'm your co-host for All Things Beauty. And you already know who I have in the studio with me. Hey, Miss Kenvi.
Hey, girl, hey.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, and we switched the thing up a little bit. I'm actually in yours, or it's not like your official
it's my
seat, because I used to sit here too sometimes. But I'm glad we're switching it up. I mean, I think it's good just to spice it up every once in a while.
Yeah, shout out to you for running everything today on this Good Tuesday.
Yes, on this Good Tuesday. And before the show actually started, this isn't in the script, but I just need to let y'all know, last week's show, All Things Dating, I've been getting so much amazing feedback from the girl, yes. DMs on the thing from the fellas, like, why are you doing online dating? I'm like, well, do you have another proposition?
Well, where was they at before that?
That's what I'm saying. But even that, from women or female friends, they're always into it, and they're like sharing their stories.
Ooh.
I'm like, so this part 2 of this online dating
lit.
is gonna be lit, and it's coming sooner than you think. I think. Oh, I know, because we do the shows. All right. So actually, before we introduce our guest, we're gonna talk about what's on our lips. So what you rocking today?
Another concoction, of course. So I have MAC Cork Lip Liner, and then Makeup Shayla Color Pops Quickie, and then I have...
Sounds dirty. Quickie.
And then I have Buxom's Lip Plumper in White Russian.
It's White Russian. Okay. I think you're also, two schools of thought. I was thinking maybe you're the right complexion, because I think sometimes on like deeper brown skin, White Russian can look a little opaque and a little just marshmallowy. But I think because of your lip concoction, apparently you use other things with it. So I think maybe it's those two, because you know what I'm talking about. Have you seen it on other people?
So I use it on its own, but I don't swipe. I blot.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, so I've been doing it all wrong.
Yeah, so you swipe it and you get too much because it's like kind of like paint, and you just getting it all everywhere. But see, when I use it, I kind of dab.
And it's prone to creasing when you plot it on too, I've noticed.
That's the plumper though.
Oh.
Because it's plumping them lips up. You know.
Good to know. Well, I already have the full lips, so I don't need any extra help in that category.
I think my lips are pretty full, but too much fullness does not hurt.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Tell that to the Kardashians.
Well, I'm saying that because a lot of people liken it to like labia, like your vaginal lips.
Oh,
I'm serious.
Whoa.
They do. I'm
I
telling
thought you said that this wasn't the dating
it's
segment.
not, but I'm telling you what I've heard.
Wow.
Word on the curb, y'all. Have you
Word
heard this? If you're on Facebook Live watching us right now, please let us know, because I've heard this from the men folk. They've said that. Like, so the juicier and plumpier your lips are, which is why red lips are considered to be not an aphrodisiac, but just something that's sensual and appealing.
You're teaching me stuff because first the pre-date and now this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
girl.
honey. Okay, no,
Well, then
okay.
that could be
well, well, anyway, I'm rocking Morange a little bit that's left over from earlier today with some gloss and brown liner. So just switching it up because I usually wear red or pink, and so I'm just trying something
I love
new.
the orange. Mac.
Thanks, boo. Yes.
Oh, I call it morange. Really? I call it morange.
Morange. The wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Same thing. Same difference.
What?
You never saw that movie?
No.
Okay. So we have an amazing, fabulous, fierce guest. Kenvi, can you do the honors of introducing our fabulous guest
Yes,
today?
this is my girl. I have been wanting her on the show since I got on the show. Miss Pace Poetry is here, you guys. She is phenomenal. She looks beautiful.
Yes.
Look at this,
That's
all this hair.
Girl.
She is
And
my
y'all have to see her in
blush.
person. I think the camera does her no justice at all.
Y'all
Like,
really
she's
making
barely
me
rocking
blush.
any makeup. Skin is flawless and popping. Body is amazing. Like, who are you? Who sent you? What?
Kenvi know who made me.
Yes, honey. Yeah, she comes from good stock, and
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
But yes, I absolutely love Pace. Like on the same wavelength. I
Awesome.
love Leos. Today's her birthday, actually. So
Yay!
happy
Happy
birthday for
birthday.
that. You know, she looking like she turned 20.
Right?
25.
Black don't crack.
True. Good black. Don't
Somebody
crack.
told me that.
I've
Good
seen
black,
some
though.
black that has cracked,
I have to.
and I would like to just say for
It depends
the
on what
record,
kind of life you live.
but good black don't crack.
If you out
You
here
keep it
all night,
moisturized, you keep it
that's
hydrated,
true.
you keep the alcohol away, or at least to a minimum.
Oh,
It's true. That ages you. Smoking, all those things.
smoking,
Food
yes.
choices.
Brown liquor. Oh, no, I don't think so.
It preserves you.
It
I
preserves
heard
you.
wine preserves you too.
Okay, I'm down with the wine.
I
or the
mean, it's
brown.
true. I only drink wine, and y'all wouldn't believe I'm 53.
Girl, bye.
I'm just saying, it works. So, there you go.
I'm done with this. That's it. That's the
Y'all
show's
should
over.
give me no more of this before the show. I'm just telling you. Not gonna say what is this, but just so you know.
So, Miss Pace Poetry, can you tell us what you have on your lips?
Yeah, I can't. Hold on.
She's got the
BRB. BRB.
Yes.
Let me see. I got this from the beauty supply.
Oh, okay.
It is called Heartthrob.
Nice.
Oh, kiss.
Yes.
Oh, Ruby Kisses. Ruby Kisses is good. They're blowing up.
Yeah, and it's a matte. I actually like. I got two other
Colors.
colors of theirs, and see, I like dark lips. I can't do the pinks and the reds for whatever reason. It just doesn't do anything for me. So I like dark maroons, purples, and and browns.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I like to
Cool.
wear those.
Cool.
Yeah, you got to find out whatever works for you and your skin tone.
Yeah.
But it looks beautiful.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Alrighty. So, I'm so excited that she's here.
I'm
And
excited
I
to be
just-
here.
Yeah. Her energy is amazing. Oh, we've only known each other for
Don't
maybe.
spill the yak now.
Listen.
This
That was
ain't
the
yet.
Don't
Put it
drop.
on Kimmy's
Because
side.
if it was actually what I drink, I'd be like, hold on,
Girl, don't
Wait a minute.
Don't drop that thunder.
Right,
Okay.
right. No, but I was saying that as soon as she walked in the studio, her energy was effervescent and amazing. So I think y'all are in store for a really good show
you.
today.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
I love her. Alrighty, so let's get right into it. So describe to us your brand, your platform. What does Pace Poetry encompass? All that good stuff.
Okay, Pace Poetry, it's so funny. I'm gonna be honest. Pace Poetry actually started before I even started reciting poetry. I always wrote poetry, so people knew I wrote poetry. But I was really looking for a new Twitter name
Okay.
because I was a part of this show, this live talk show, and so they had their handle on my name because the Twitter came from their account. I mean, from what the account they had created for me. So I asked randomly, like, what should be my new name or whatever. And my brother's friend commented, was like, Pace Poetry. And I was like, oh, okay. And so me finally getting into the poetry world, I had met a poet through Twitter. And so when she would introduce me at her open mic, she would call me Pace Poetry. And so that's kind of how it just ended up coming to be about. So I was like, well, I guess I am Pace Poetry.
Yeah.
You know, that should be my name. And so when I started to really dive into it and connect with the name, the brand, the artistry as far as performing poetry, I would say that Pace Poetry embodies a poet who is who has a higher vision of poetry than what has been done already.
Okay.
And we have, you know, our people that we look up to. We have the Maya Angelou's and the Nikki Giovanni's my favorite. and we have the performance poets who I looked up to, like Seven and Kanai and The Truth, and all the females that were actually on the show. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But people that I looked up to as far as performance-wise. But still, there's a gap in between poets and other artists that I feel needs to be tapped into, and that's what Pace Poetry has now turned into a brand to be a platform and an open door for poets after me who's still on it the same with me at the same time right now, so that we can take it to that other level besides just, you know, stepping on an open mic stage.
Awesome. That's phenomenal. Just want to acknowledge a couple of people who stepped into the live video today. Hey, Miss Sonia. Hey, girl. Hey. That's amazing.
Thank
so
you.
I do want to know what your thoughts are on like pop culture and poetry. I know that, for instance, one of my favorite movies, Love Jones.
I was just thinking Love
were you?
Jones.
See, great minds
Can I
think
be
alike.
the right between something? I don't know what he said,
Can I
but
be
it
the fucking
sounded
your
good.
lip? Yes.
You know.
Yeah, is that all right?
Like,
but
you know, you got to get the snap.
yes, right? So, of course, the whole premise or most of the kind of behind or background story for that movie was that, you know, he was a poet and how poetry connected them. And it's become like a staple in the Black romantic comedy kind of genre, right?
Right.
And I even remember like they're walking down the street, and so she even gets into poetry a little bit. And so Sonia Sanchez, she recites a line like, I gather up each sound that you left behind
I
and
love
stretch them
that.
on our bed.
Oh, gosh.
Each night I breathe
That's
you and
Amitha's
become
favorite
high.
movie.
That is my favorite movie, y'all.
but that line,
That
like, oh my
line,
God, with those
Gather
lines
up
was
each
just like,
sound that you left behind and
then
stretch
stretch
them on our bed.
and
Each
then
night I
breathe
breathe
you.
them and become high. Like, just the imagery that
Yes.
that drums up. I'm here for it. So my
too.
question for you is, do you think that was a good representation of Black poetry or Black artists? And would you like to see more of that?
It was definitely an eye-opener. I feel like Love Jones set the tone for letting people see what was going on in the Black culture, and it wasn't just
Yes,
revolved
I can agree
around
with that.
R&B and rap and stuff like that. It
Yes.
showed us being artistic, intellectual, and just being able to connect, because sometimes, you know, my bachelor's degree is in poetry, and we only, a lot of times, you know, we only really study, you know, the white poets, because, and that's like, oh, this is poetry type of thing. But Love Jones set that tone, and then you have
Yes.
other movies. I just watched this movie. Oh gosh, I forgot the name of it, and it has Azalea Banks as a lead role.
Interesting.
It's on Netflix. It is really good. It's about her doing spoken word. She's a rapper, but and Jill Scott is in it as well. And it's about the whole spoken word. It's Common is in there. It's a really
I'm
good
missing
movie.
out.
Like it made me see her in a different light, because, you know, I already know
with
what
her
already, you
drama
know.
and-
But with as far as with the poetry, I felt like they represented how Black culture, and actually how the poetry has even transitioned since the whole Love Jones era. With just
Yes.
from because a lot of people be like, oh, snaps, and I'm like,
It's
we
more
can
than that.
snap, but it's more than the snaps, because I be telling people, like, if you feel it, you know, you ain't gotta just snap it, because sometimes I gotta be like,
Yeah.
you know. But yes, I definitely feel that Love Jones was that staple for that, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of staples in the community, as you all know, now we're in the digital age and in a global society. And so I like to just let you know that at least a portion of this show is actually sponsored by True Digital. You're online right now, and so are your customers. The question is, how do you actively reach them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to help you walk through that journey together. True Digital Media Consulting can help with website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on search engines. Give us a call today to discuss customized strategies for your business at 832-934-4436. Or you can send us an email at info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention the Sphere to receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation. Y'all heard that, free. Thanks to True Digital.
My favorite word.
Yes.
But I'm actually glad she mentioned like the clapping and snapping, because I am a poetry version. I haven't been to a lot of, I'm serious, I haven't been to a lot of poetry shows, and I thought that you couldn't make too much noise, which is why you would snap, because you want to be respectful to the poet. So I would just be sitting there probably waiting.
Well, when we say we have a thing called respect the mic, and what we mean by respect the mic, because a lot of people will be in there talking and like having full-blown conversations and act like they don't know that someone is actually up there spitting. I mean, it's not like a lot of us have music behind us or have a band behind us. So if you hear someone is on the stage, shut up. Like, now if they say something at you, it'd be like, okay, I hear you, and then if you are if you have learned to read your audience as a poet, you'll know when to kind of like pause a little bit just to get so that the crowd can get themselves back together.
Yeah.
Then you allow yourself to go ahead and continue so that they won't, not hear what you're saying, or the other ones can't hear what you're saying. But when we're saying like as far as be quiet, because people really be in there having full blown conversations
and being disrespectful,
and
like
being
their
very
energy is
disrespectful.
disrespectful. But if you shout out, "Hey, girl, I see you," or something like that, affirming them, then that's a different type of energy that you're giving the
and
artist.
we need that energy as
Yeah.
artists, because
Yeah.
sometimes, and don't get me wrong, it's sometimes where I like the silence kind of motivates me, because it depends on the topic. I'm like, I got your attention. It's okay. And then sometimes when I get the feed of the audience, it just depends. But we do a lot of times feed off the energy. So we'll need sometime. We'd like to have more than a snap sometime, and to be like, okay, girl, all right. Because I never forget not my first piece, but one of the first times I performed at Poetry Lounge, which was the longest lasting poetry show in Houston, and it was the poem "If I'm a Bee, Your Mama's a Bee" or whatever. And I had what was so messed up about it, I had to rewrite that piece because I couldn't find it. But something kept tugging at me like, no, you gotta go to Poetry Lounge and perform it today. Today you're gonna perform it. So I literally had to kind of like feed off of what I memorized and just do that. Then memorize it. And then the first lines was like, "If I'm a bee, then your mama's a bee." And the crowd went bananas for like 2 minutes.
Wow.
And so I literally had to wait.
Wow.
Crazy.
And that was your first time performing.
It wasn't my first time performing. My Poetry Lounge, in my own state of mind, was that stage that I wanted to conquer.
Oh, okay.
Because it was every time I would go to me, the audience was rude. And so every time it would just be a lot of noise. And so to get them to either shut up or just pay attention to me, I would feel like, and so I actually performed there prior to that, and I had silenced the crowd, and this time I had hyped them up. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, so then I must have something. To me, it was like my defining moments for us. I must have a little something to be able to captivate an audience besides just the one that I was going to.
Yes.
Okay, that's dope. So, in addition to poetry, you're also an author, and I've heard a lot of rave reviews about this book. So you need to.
And I forgot to bring the book. I was like,
it's okay.
Okay, yay!
I was prepared today.
It's a beautiful image.
Thank you, my friend Karina. Actually, one of the poets in the show that I had, she designed that cover for me. From the picture that I took.
Awesome.
Yes, she's awesome.
So a little synopsis about what's going on. What's the title of the book?
It is Awakening the Pace of Love.
Oh.
It sounds like it's a good self-help book.
Or
And
it
most
sounds
people
like
say
Part 2 of
that.
Love Jones.
Part 2 of Love Jones.
A little bit of both.
It's definitely not that.
Awakening the Pace of Love, Jones.
It's definitely not the Love Jones.
Wow.
But it is. But most people have said that it has helped them. So I would put it in the self-help book.
Okay.
It's actually a memoir.
Oh.
didn't want my first book to be a memoir. I actually wanted to be. I mean, my whole goal as far as writing was always to be like either fiction or poetry, just straight, But we all know God always have different plans for us.
Right.
So in the midst of my one of my heartbreaks, and I'm sitting there doing the whole "woe is me, Lord, why me?"
I think I heard a little bit of this story.
Yeah, and so he just kept saying, "Write your story," and it had always been in the back of my mind ever since I did the project in undergrad, where it was a 20-page memoir that I had to do.
Wow.
And my professor told me to think about turning it into a full memoir, and also to think about developing into a script. And so God just kept tugging at it, so I went on and did it. And so, to make a long story short, it is my journey of searching for love, but not knowing where the root of love came from. Looking at my parents in their marriage, it wasn't like a great representation. Like, they tried, but you have two people who didn't come from households that had mom and dad trying to come together and be mom and dad. And so seeing all of that, and then me just going on this hunt very early on, and then just getting heartbroken multiple times, and just realizing like I didn't love myself. But again, I didn't love myself because I didn't even believe or accept the fact that God actually loved me. It was just a thing that we would say. So it's just my journey of self-love, self-discovery, and, just finally realizing that if I accept his love, then I shouldn't shortchange myself, and I should, be acceptable. Of course, no one can love you like the Lord.
But,
but
that's a word.
But,
That's
I
a
need to make
word.
sure that I am not allowing someone to belittle me and shortchange me. Like, I know that in love you will put up with some things and you'll have to endure some things. But now I can honestly take a step back and be like, okay, what am I going to put up with? What is worth my value and what's not?
Awesome. Well, that's phenomenal. And from what else I've heard is that your fro's phenomenal. Shout out to Patrina. She's watching us on Facebook Live and actually
you.
commented as well. So among other phenomenal things, the Sphere TV is also phenomenal. And that's why you're able to watch us here today. But at this time, we're actually coming to the end of our online, or at least our live broadcast. So, of course, we thank you all for viewing, and we hope to see you next Tuesday, same time, same place. You know how we do it here. But at this time, we actually ask that you subscribe to our show on all major platforms, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Review our show on iTunes with constructive feedback, and share this Facebook Live post with your friends and your entire family circle. Also, if you'd like to, and if it's on your heart, please do donate to our mission to bring enriched and inspiring content each and every week. You can donate at www.thesphere.tv/donate. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see you next
Bye.
Tuesday. Say bye, Pace.
Bye.
Kendi.
Oh, peace out.
Bye, y'all.
All right, that was good, because that was perfect to come after that dating segment. Like, get the book, find your love, and then go on Bumble and find you a man. Because you got to love yourself first, and then you can get somebody else to love you.
You really do.
So that's very true. So you brought her hair up. It's a beauty show.
Yes, it is.
We want to know all about this vibrant color.
Yes.
Okay, well, first, gonna have to shout him out. I actually go and travel to Atlanta to get my hair colored.
Wow.
Actually, I met his name is the Color King. I actually met him 3 years ago at this hair event, Bella Kinks, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I went,
Okay, the expo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the expo. And he was coloring. I never knew about him. Everybody was like, "Oh, the Color King," and I was just like, "Who's the Color King?" And then I saw him. I was just admiring his work, and he was like, "Oh, you want your hair colored?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm gonna do something for you." And so we never ended up being able to connect that day or the next day for the expo. But I had already put in my mind. I was like, when I get ready to color my hair, he's going to color my hair. And it just so ended up that we ended up connecting a year later at Essence. We didn't see each other at the Natural Hair Expo, but we ended up being at the same restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And so we exchanged numbers, and then that's how we just ended up communicating, being cool with each other. And I flew out there, and then when I flew out there, I met up with him, and he colored my hair. And so I tell everyone, I don't know the color of my hair,
custom.
but I let everyone know that he is a good person to go to. Like, so, and I know people travel all the time, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to travel to Atlanta to get your hair colored by him, because especially with us naturals, and he specializes in making sure that he doesn't use bleach, you don't lose your curl pattern, you don't have any damage to your hair or anything like that. So I mean, honestly, my curl's been popping a little better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you know what color he was gonna do, or did he just do whatever?
I told him that I was thinking about like a reddish, and at that time I was a teacher, so I told him, I said I didn't want it to be extremely like Charlie Baltimore red, but I wanted it to be, a good, red color where it can pop. And so he was just like, okay, and then he just went back there and did his thing.
It's
I'm gonna have to check out his
perfect.
Instagram. It's Color
Yes,
King with
yes,
a K.
all K's, yeah.
Okay.
It's perfect to me. I don't know what you would look like without red hair, and I
Me
think that's like your
either.
signature, because you know it's her, because all you see is red.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, that's Pace. All right,
Right.
hey girl. So yeah. So how long have you been natural?
I have been natural for 7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing was, I wasn't even perm long, but I let one beautician get in my hair,
All it takes is one.
and because my hair was still curling up, because my mama just was tired of doing my hair, because at that point I'm 18 years old now, she don't want to press my hair, And so I went to a beautician, and he relaxed all my hair. And so as I'm washing my hair, I'm like, my hair not curling up no more.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world is going on?
Wow.
And so I was permed for 5 years, and then so I've been back natural for 7, and
Okay,
I've been
about this-
loving it.
About the same time as me. I think this year could make 7 years. Oh, it actually does. 2008. Yep. I became natural in 2011, but as y'all can see,
I'm actually lying. I think I went in 2010. It's 2018. Jesus Lord, time has passed. 8
years, all
Yeah,
right.
8 years I've been
and with
natural.
this, how long have you been natural?
Girl, forever and a day. Probably since forever. I think I had one in college. I tried to relax my edges, but it didn't work, because then it started breaking off at the edge, like where the perm met the kind of relaxed hair, or the natural met the relaxed hair. A disaster.
Ew.
I should have done this. I should have just done the big chop, but I kept trying to nurse my little edges. Child. It was just a disaster.
I didn't do the big chop.
Really?
Mm-mm.
So I mean, after your relaxing experience,
I
you
did
just-
not.
Oh,
because
okay.
I had
The transition. That's what I did.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
transitioned, because I already had one bad cut, and I had went from like here to here, and she didn't cut it right. And so I was like, men short hair, no. So when I decided that I wasn't going to perm anymore, I was like, I'm just gonna have to go through this process of
Yeah.
the transition.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cut it off, because I
Yeah.
just never. I mean, I had a lot of hair, and I was known for my hair, but I would never have imagined if my hair would get to Pace's level
Yeah.
of like this.
Yes.
And I was just like, girl, I have done all I can do. We
Yeah.
gonna rock this little shortcut, and that's what we're gonna
But
do.
just like you were saying with her and her colored hair, or her red hair, and just beautiful sienna kind of hue, I don't think I would know you without short hair. I think it's just
know.
so
It fits
it's
you.
naturally can be, and I think it just
Thank
really works
you.
for you and your brand and your look and your aesthetic. It
good,
just-
because that's it. Because girl, it be hot outside. My friend's like, oh, I'm so hot. I'm like, girl, I feel fine. My little neck be cool. Look, I can't.
Stop.
Going back to doing twist outs. I do
Yeah,
not
that's-
miss combing hair.
no.
Been able to get up, take my do-rag off. Shout out to the women that wear do-rags to bed. Take my
Really?
do-rag off, do my little swirlies, my little baby hairs.
You
and
gotta
I'm
do
done.
baby hair.
Wow. So your hair routine is maybe 10 minutes.
God spritz me some little water, maybe put a little leave-in.
That's it.
And that's it. Well, you
Put
go ahead on.
I'll put my do-rag back on and let my little baby hairs lay down, marinate, and that's it.
Wow. That's
I got to
phenomenal.
go. I mean, I'm spending enough time on makeup. I need to be as
True.
quick and easy as
True.
possible. And on that note, this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, our vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are a part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Baptiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Asandra Baptiste at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. Alrighty, thanks to Dr. Baptiste. So let me see what else we're gonna get into. Okay, so let's talk about this comedy show that I missed. I'm sorry, comedy show, poetry show that I missed I'm mad because I missed it.
Did miss
I'm in the
it.
corner, but I had to redeem myself, and then we put you on the show.
Right.
So we're good. Okay. But I did see the video. I absolutely loved the whole Janet Jackson dance thing. That was dope.
Thank you.
But it's still, you guys had a good turnout. A lot of people that I knew like went and were showing them like on IG. So it was definitely popping.
Cool.
I don't know why I didn't go.
Somebody else told me that was all they saw the weekend were videos of the show.
Your event.
Yeah, and I was just, and that blew me away because, you know, it was put on me because I was part of this show at the Improv, and it was an all-female lineup. It was about 20 female poets. And I would just always say, like, this needs to be a tour, like, because the show was sell out, and also the female poets, we just are so diverse in content because we go through so much as women. So we're able to, and even if it's talking about the same thing, we have different ways
Perspective.
to. Yes. And so after about me talking about it for 2 years, I was sitting down. I took one of my friends to brunch, and I was telling her the same thing that I've been, told everybody. And she was like, "Why don't you do it yourself?" And I was like, "Do it myself," And she was like, "Yeah." She said the first one don't have to be so big, but do it yourself. And I say, "Well, I can't call it what they had it, And she was like, "Well, name it something else." I was like, "Name it after one of my poems." And so the thought process of the If I'm a Bee. And I put Queens of Poetry because the theme of, is how we use that term so loosely now, where even women, we like, you can't call me one, but you can call me one.
Yeah.
You can't, and it's the same like we do the N word.
Yeah.
And so we have, Black people always find a way to make, negative words.
A term
turn
of
into-
endearment,
turn-
yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, it's cool, but in a way, no, And so I knew as we sat down and we wrote out, I knew who I wanted to be part of the show. I knew I didn't want it to be a huge lineup. I wanted to be set up like the Kings of Comedy show.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted it to be the host, even though she's a poet, she's also a comedian. So I knew she could hold the entire show.
Perfect.
The DJ, she's a poet as well, but I knew she could rock the crowd out. And then I had these 4 poets who I knew who could tell a story. And so it consisted of me, Nikki the Kid, she was the host, Karina Delgado was the DJ, and then I had Sadiddy Kitty, The Truth, and Kanai. And we just told a story within our 20 to 25 minute segments, and then we all closed out, with the remix. I call it the remix to my poem, If I'm a Bee. So we all collab. And it was just a fun time. Like, when God gives you a vision, it's just like He won't let you sleep and rest on it. Like, He really won't. And honestly, I almost gave up. Well, not gave up. I couldn't. But I was frustrated because funds weren't coming in. And, I'm actually completely entrepreneur. Pace Poetry is full time.
Wow, fabulous.
Yeah, but I was just kind of like, it's the month of the show, Lord, when the funds coming in.
Right.
But, He made sure He said, closed mouth don't get, like, it started ringing what people was telling me. My uncle and my spiritual mentor, they had said, closed mouth don't get fed, closed mouth don't get
You
fed.
gotta go out
I
there
had
and
to
get it.
Yeah, so instead of me asking for sponsorship, I was just like, look, can I borrow this money? Can I borrow this money? Can I borrow this money? And it's so funny because the people I asked to borrow money, they was like, you good. And so I was like, we were able to put on a show, and it actually turned out exactly how I envisioned
Wow,
it.
that's
And I'm a
great.
Janet fanatic,
Me
so
too. I love
So
it
it was-
This is giving me Velvet Rope.
I
era.
did her at her
This is
concert.
giving me Velvet Rope. I was like, this is placing me in a mindset. Velvet Rope.
I did Velvet Rope for her concert
Oh
when it was
my
out here the last
goodness.
one. I did.
Seriously?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I did.
I think I remember seeing it
That's
on your
phenomenal.
I had my little thing, when she had her little hands and her little.
Yeah, little knots. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big Bantu knots. Oh my
Right,
God.
yeah. So
Fabulous.
I wanted to incorporate her some kind of way, and so even though Rhythm Nation isn't the song that I always go to, in the video, but if it segue into one of my pieces, the
Yeah.
Don't Shoot piece, and so I was like, I would like to open it up. I found some dancers who were willing to do it, like didn't charge me anything. It was some young girls, and it was just phenomenal. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm still blown away. People are still asking about the tour, the show,
Yeah.
the DVDs.
I'm sad I missed it.
I'm mad too.
Wow. So
I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. So you're about to relocate. You're leaving us in Houston.
I am
so
leaving.
So then we can go to the Atlanta one.
well,
I am working on it.
So that is my secondary question, but my primary question is, where can we go check out some poetry? Is there any, like, Sadiddy Kitty, Kanai, are they performing elsewhere in Houston that we can check out, maybe?
Truth is having something August 1st.
Okay.
She's beginning an every other Wednesday thing. I forgot the name of the spot exactly, but I'll give you the title. I mean,
what's
the-
her Instagram?
It's Rock RAQ The Truth.
Okay.
The DA. So
Cute.
Rock The Truth. And we kind of just, and Kana, she's always at the Improv once a month.
Oh.
Hosting and performing and doing things like that. And Sadidi Kitty, she does her open mics and stuff still when people ask her to perform as well. But right now, I mean, that was like our, none of us were really doing anything heavy. I think Kana was the only one, besides if we weren't getting booked for, special events, we wasn't really just doing a lot of open mics. I know I for sure wasn't trying to, because I knew that I was going to have to do the pieces that people wanted to hear. And so for it to not be so, and me to get tired of, I was like, kind of like, let me chill off the open mics for a while.
Awesome. So good. At least until we can make it to Atlanta to check you out, at least we have some things to keep us occupied.
Yeah, because I want to go. Because I've heard people. I've been at an event and someone did like spoken word, but I've never went and said, okay, tonight is poetry night. This is what are we gonna hear? I've never been in a situation.
Well,
like
tomorrow night. Well, Wednesday, every other Wednesday, it's a Renee's on the Bayou as well, by a poet called Moetry, and she is featuring an adult poet. His name is Scott Free, and I'll more than likely be there. I don't know if I'll get there in time to get on the list, because I'm a late person. But
you got a friend Amethyst?
The shade. That shade.
But you'll find you'll be able to witness like a lot of dope poets there. And you also have Avant Garden on Wednesdays, One Poetry. They have a lot of things. Yeah.
So all these events happening on Wednesdays. I wish they would spread them out throughout
They
the
have
week.
now. They have other ones, but I don't know all of them off the top of my dome.
Yeah, of course.
But actually, Houston. I will say this: Houston has a plethora of places to go for poets, especially up and coming poets who want to just start practicing and getting their shine on.
Is there a way we can like hashtag? I know like when people are looking for a new makeup artist in the city, they'll do like Houston MUA or Houston makeup artist or whatever. City
You can do
makeup
Houston poets.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of any other hashtags. Or
Like
Houston
poets,
artists, but
something
Houston
like that.
poets.
Okay. Good. We'll keep an eye out. Awesome. So I wanted to know, do you have, if you can tell us, not giving too many secrets away, not divulging too much, but
Okay.
I'd love to ask different entrepreneurs who come on the show, where you see your brand going in maybe 5-10 years. And you can think about it for a second, because I think Kimby has some news for us, but I would really love to know that, and I'm sure our viewers would too.
Okay.
Let me hurry up.
Okay.
I wanna hear this.
I might be long-winded.
This portion of the show is sponsored by The Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. Alrighty, so where's Pace Portia gonna be? Because I'm gonna be right there saying, I know her.
I know, that's my
girl.
girl, yes.
Like, let me through the VIP. I'm gonna be acting like Tiffany Haddish. Hey, let me through. That's my friend.
That's funny.
Right. I see Pace Poetry's brand being a catalyst for other poets to sell out arenas and theaters.
Come through.
That's dope.
And that's it. And of course, Pace Poetry will still be doing arenas and theaters, and things of that nature, stadiums. But I see Pace Poetry's brand being that catalyst for that, and to also showcase their work on different media networks like radio and, like television more, so we have more outlets for poets so that our artistry is appreciated, so people don't hit you up and say, hey, we need a poet, and you be like, well, I charge this. Oh, well, never mind, because a lot of times people don't think that they should pay us.
Ooh.
And I'd be like, that we should volunteer because it's like it's a hobby or something. And I'm like, we write our own stuff. We have to practice our own stuff. It's not a cheap. It's not for free.
I mean, to me, I think of poetry like rap without music. And so, I mean, if you're
That's
going
my
to
next
pay
question.
a rapper to over a beat, then, you know, because I guess that's how rap started, was people, you know, rhyming things together, which is kind of similar. There's different forms of poetry, but it's the same concept to me. So if I'm going to pay to go see somebody in concert, then you might want to pay me the same way.
I agree. Now, one thing I learned, and I learned this from my uncle who's in radio and music, I wouldn't tell anyone to not do things pro bono. But you have to,
While
as
you're
an
building
artist,
your brand.
Yes, while you're building your brand, and just be mindful of what you choose to do pro
Correct.
bono. Like now, even though my brand has built a pretty good leverage for myself, there are still certain things that somebody asks me, I'll be like, okay, I'll do it.
If it's worth
You know,
it, of course.
Yeah, but I want you to. But I want people to have that mindset when they approach poets, to not have that mindset that they will do it for free. Like I want them to be kind of, I feel bad to even ask if you could type of thing, not to just automatically assume. So I want that's the brand. Pace Poetry is to just help the poets in the game. And like I said, we take this poetry to a whole nother level than what our ancestors, did, especially in this performance, because there's different types. You have your slam poets. I don't really like to do competition, so I don't do that. I think it's cool. I like going to them, but I'm not a fan of being a part of it. And there are people who get up there and they recite, and then you have me and the ones who on my show, I feel that we are performers, and it's a big difference. So it just depends, but still, if it's something that you are wanting to do, put value to it.
Of course. Oh, yeah. 3 women entrepreneurs, so we definitely understand.
But I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you. No, I was thinking you mentioned our ancestors just a minute ago, and so as soon as you mentioned like where you envision Pace Poetry being in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, and how you're wanting to be a catalyst for like other artists to kind of get their dreams out, I thought instantly of like Sankofa, like from the Twi language, about like going back and getting. So it's all about how we can progress as a unit, as a culture, as a people, is by reaching back, going back and getting it. And so I just love that. So I'm like, I don't even know if you envision that, but when you said that, that's beautiful where your heart is, number one. But number two, that's going to just elevate the platform of poetry even more.
And that's what I want. I want to elevate the platform of poetry and then it just, I do believe in helping. So when people come to me and they ask me to be mentors, I'm not putting a price tag to that. I want to help you. If you have questions about writing or poetry, and I got the answers to help you, I'm gonna give them to you.
Oh,
I'm not gonna sit up here.
Because somebody had to help you.
Yeah,
Exactly. And I learn, and I will tell them to study different ones that you see. Like I actually looked and studied. So me hosting a Poetry Lounge for a year with Nikki the Kid and 9 and 7 and Kodak and even Joe P, it helped me to learn the audience better, learn how to slow down, because when I used to spit, I'd be so fast.
The rate of speech,
and
that's the big thing.
Nikki would be like, "Hey, slow down," or learning how to even interact with the crowd in the midst of my poem, and still be able to come back to. So I learned a lot. So you have to study your craft. And sometimes people don't understand you have to study your craft.
That's awesome. So if I can ask your favorite poem that you've written yourself, and then your favorite poem by another artist or another poet.
Okay. One of mine. Which one? To be honest, my favorite poem that I've written is
If I'ma Be Your Mama's a Bee.
To be honest, that piece, I feel the same way Erykah Badu feels about Tyrone.
Yes, it is. That resonated with me on a spiritual level. Like, I felt that. I felt that one.
But how Erykah be like, I don't really, but that's kind of how I feel about it. But my favorite piece is probably Effed Up in the Head. And the reason why is because, first off, that's the only piece that I never had to memorize. Like, before I started to rehearse, I wrote it, I knew it. And I guess it's like,
like, this is real life.
But I like the I like the progression. I like the character. I like the way I embody the character, the speaker in the poem, and like looking, as far as being deranged. And I just feel like that piece is like the first piece that I actually really truly embodied and became. So, and it helped me to go back to other pieces, like If I'm a Bee and the other ones before it, to find a better way to perform it. But that was the first poem that I love because it helped me to stamp performance on my resume.
Yeah.
And as far as other poets, it will have to be, since I was a kid, Mother to Son by Langston Hughes. I don't know why, and it probably and I don't want it to be cliche because I know most people know, but it's just that poem.
Yeah.
My sister introduced it to me when I was a kid, when we were in elementary, and every time I read it, I find something new in it, and I love that poem.
Yep. That's awesome. I think so. I love poetry. I grew up in Oakland, California, which is a very diverse and culturally just vibrant city. And so I did slam poetry like all through middle school until 9th grade when we moved to Texas.
Why you stop?
I know. Well,
With that same
was,
voice, or do you use like a different voice?
So slam poetry, so it was more conviction, yeah. So it's like my performance voice. I'm not like no Beyonce on my Sasha Fierce, level. But yeah, I loved writing and I loved performing. And my uncle, shout out to Uncle Eddie, he always watches the show. He used to come
Uncle Eddie.
to my shows at Berkeley High in the 9th grade in the middle of the day and just watch me and support me.
Really?
But I never envisioned it like on a larger scale like this, like what you've done and how you've established. And so I think if I would have been exposed to that at another age, much younger, I could have been rocking with Pace, I could have been part of your lineup.
And that's what I want to do. Like, even with me transitioning to Atlanta, I want. I know.
Don't leave.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like, but you know what? I feel like my time in Houston for right now, and I'm gonna say for right now, has served its purpose.
Yeah.
I can honestly say, and I'm a very transparent person. I feel that I no longer fit into the poetry world in Houston right now. It's a lot, it's a lot in it, and I'm just like, I don't feel like I fit in right now with it. So I want to go and just do something else. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I love going to schools and talking to students, and because I asked, who don't like poetry, and I don't like poetry. And so when I start doing what I do, then they like, wow, thank you for coming. And I didn't know that, and so because they don't think that it's a higher platform, or they only see it as slam. And and a lot of poets, even my age, only see slam.
Yeah.
As
a movie.
it.
There was a movie called Slam. It was really big, and
and that's all
what's
they
been
see.
popularized.
And that's the only thing. And I want to show that I don't have to place in a slam just to get that type of recognition as a poet, because a lot of times cities and things, they don't, and organizations, they don't recognize you. Oh, you haven't done slam, you haven't done this. Everybody don't want to do that. I don't want to compete, because but to get there, let's be honest, with a slam, if you come like you say you hardly been to a poetry thing, they'll ask you been to a poetry thing, you say no, here, they give you a thing and you're gonna judge the poets. These are people who
I wouldn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So what you will gather from poetry, what you think is like, okay, if they say something really deep, then I guess that should be a good score. And then and I witnessed that. I observed it, and I took my nephew to one that I was a feature at, and he was like, "But Auntie, she wasn't good." Like I say, but they don't know that she had some deep words in there. She had a deep message. So.
And the conviction. Oftentimes people get confused by just conviction, just because someone is so excited or they've nailed their performance art type, but they're not like resonating with other poets, like, of a higher level. So yeah, you can, resonate with the audience, but people who
like
really
get
know
people
poetry.
riled up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I was going to share my favorite poem, two. Ego Tripping by Nikki Giovanni. Have you heard it? Okay. She's
my favorite poet.
She said that was her favorite.
That's my ear-ish. And my line name is actually Ethereal from that poem.
Oh,
so
okay.
I love it on a whole nother level. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I love it on a whole nother level. And then Amethyst Rockstar by Saul Williams. Have you heard it?
I haven't.
Okay, you got to check it out.
I'm about to go Google that.
Yeah.
I like my favorite poem by Nikki Giovanni is actually Choices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good poem.
Awesome.
I love it.
Well, my favorite poem is any poem by Pace Poetry.
Shameless
plug. But I was thinking while you were talking about helping people, you should do like a workshop or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
I would
And just,
definitely.
like teach people how to do
Seriously.
it. Like, workshop.
And that's my goal. Like I said, I'm gonna be Atlanta. I'll be doing my doctoral degree, but also working that thing because their poetry scene is dope. But I feel I can bring something to it. And I want to
Yes.
do those workshops because again, people don't know that there's a difference
Mm-hmm.
of different types of things. Do you
Yep.
want to get up there and recite? Like I tell everybody, I say everybody's not a performance poet, and you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to be. I tell people, I say my favorite poet is Nikki Giovanni. She's not a
She ain't-
performance poet. She reads.
Read.
So you don't have to be, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna read, you got to be able to read to still captivate your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You still got. I'm not a reader. I got to memorize it because I'm gonna stumble over some
Mm-hmm.
words. But again, you have to know how to find a way still to have your story, your message captivate an audience.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Nikki came actually to Houston in February.
I went and seen her.
And yes, and
Yes.
she was reading. I'm like, people, the youngins, the Gen X, because we're millennials, but the Gen Xers came expecting her to like get on the mic and just, Jay-Z it. And I'm like, first of all, that's not
Show
what
some
Nikki
respect.
Giovanni does. Exactly.
Yeah,
Show some respect. Put some respect on her name.
Please put some respect on her
So
name.
Nikki Giovanni is not going to be that type of poet, but you're
She's not.
absolutely right. There are so many different types. Poetry is not a monolith. Poets are not monoliths, so it's like I think people don't understand that. So that's amazing. I love what you're bringing to poetry.
Yeah, you'll do fine in Atlanta. Girl, just tell them you from Houston, and
You
they're gonna be
know.
all over whatever you have. Because when I
Yeah.
went out there, like, oh, you from Houston? Oh, okay, girl, whatever you need. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I'm ready for the workshop. I'm ready. Roses are red.
Oh,
Like,
did
I'm
she?
ready.
But you know what? You can flip it, and you
Yeah.
can start it with that roses of red, violets of blue,
Or she
and
could
then
just
you
be
can
my ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
boom.
Now, I think, I know now, like the TV industry is really big in Atlanta. From reality TV to scripted shows
Girl,
to
Tyler
non-scripted
Perry
shows.
studio. They-
Tyler Perry
You know they
studio
shot
was there.
Black Panther in
They
Atlanta.
did at multiple.
Oh, it wasn't in Wakanda.
Girl, Tyler Perry studio.
So my question for you is, would you ever do TV and like bring your
She
poetry
better.
to a? Let her answer. now.
Look, girl, look, somebody got to come up now.
My girl
Would
answering
you
for
ever
me.
Look, she
do
got to get it.
TV, and would it have to be reality only, or would you not do reality, or would it be like an actual show?
I want it to be an actual. It'll be two types.
Okay.
I do want to. I am working on developing my book into a script. It has to be a series.
Just
So
let me
that's
be an
one
extra.
thing. You know what?
Like girl walking down the street.
No, but
me.
seriously,
Yeah.
no, but seriously,
Fly
since,
girl
since
walking
she's
down the
thin,
street.
no,
Hello.
since you're thin, like you probably could play me, like
Yeah.
for
I
like
need a wig.
Yes, but
Okay,
see,
cool.
right, you have to start out straight at first because when I was 13, I had straight hair.
Okay,
but
I'm ready.
Yeah.
my mama messing up my live video and stuff.
Hey, mom.
But I do want that. But if I do anything, especially when it comes down to poetry, I would love to develop either a sitcom about poetry, about like putting that whole
That would be
dynamic,
dope.
or just having a show period, kind of like how Verses and Flow was,
Yeah.
or the Poetry Jam. But I think a sitcom would be really nice because you don't have that, that dynamics of it. We've had the Verses and Flow and the Def Poetry Jams, but let me see something else. I wouldn't do reality TV only because even though it's reality, it's still scripted, and I don't want to deal with. I don't want beef to surround such a culture that has been around. You
Yep.
think of poetry, you think back to the Harlem Renaissance and all that type of
Yes.
stuff. And you just
Come on,
don't.
Langston.
I don't want to put that negative look on it, even though you have that beef and everything on in the poetry scene. I just don't want that to be surrounded by
See,
it.
I was thinking about a poetry like competition type of show,
That's Slam.
like Shark Tank or something.
Oh,
with
okay.
poets.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would still be slam though.
Still say, oh, see,
It was.
girl.
It really would. It would still be slam. You say kind of like an
So
American
are you, like,
Idol or something.
slamming,
Yeah.
Are you slamming each other? Am I
No.
talking about you?
No, not at all.
What you'll do is with slam, it's a competition. So they have a way of how they're gonna judge you. So they have this things, and so you have
Kind of like a
you know,
spelling
Criteria.
bee, but poetry.
Kind of, yeah.
No.
Just let
Better
her
spelling bee.
pace.
No, it's not. It's like a talent show.
Oh.
But even still, spelling bees are displays of talent. So you gotta,
But
you
you-
gotta
but
Gotta
you-
be a talented speller.
You got
But
the
if you
concept.
misspell, you out. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go figure this out because I don't
You
know
got the
nothing
concept.
about.
You got a good
And see,
start.
You were my guest. But I didn't even know Amethyst was coming with this backstory of all of this.
Right.
She don't let me have nothing. Took my chair. Then she wanted some kind of bond with my
Don't
guest. But no,
even.
it was really dope because I had no clue. So I'm like, what voice did you use? I mean, she has this, good like TV, radio voice. It's like, what type of voice do you use for poetry? But I probably put people to sleep.
No, you wouldn't.
But it
Roses
is
off
some
Like, I don't
people.
even
It is
know
some
what's in
people
it.
who put you to sleep. But but you know what?
Just to be real.
But I didn't think for the longest I was very insecure when I would perform because you had the people the slamming you. But they had they have a certain type of voice that they be like, and it kind of like has a sing type. I don't know. I can't describe it. And I was like, my voice just don't do that. I was like, I'm just me and country. Like, I
But
say
then
my-
that's your brand. That's
and
you.
I had to realize that. I say, you know what? I just don't sound like these slam poets. Like, I just don't sound like them.
You're you little bitty lady, big hair with a big message. So there you go. That's what you got.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, girl. Well, I don't want to let you go, but I guess you gotta go because you gotta go
I gotta
to
get
Atlanta.
my baby, and I gotta go to Atlanta.
Wow.
You know.
Amethyst, we got trips we gotta take.
We got trips. We got
Please.
Atlanta.
We can
we
take
got-
All Things Beauty on tour.
That will be
would be
fabulous.
dope.
That would be.
Where we going?
would be.
I'm ready.
Atlanta.
Hey, all things beauty.
We can go now. I can buy some stuff.
Clark Atlanta homecoming.
Oh, CAU homecoming?
I can buy some draws when I get there.
But do y'all do it with like the Spell House homecoming? Is it the same time or is it separate?
You know what? I don't know because I have to reach
Okay.
out to them because I want
That
to bring.
would be dope.
Because I want to bring the
like
Queens
just the
of
AU
Poetry
system
to that.
homecoming.
That'd be
Let
dope.
us know. Oh, we're
Yeah.
not on Facebook Live anymore. But anyway, you can hashtag ATB or All Things Beauty. Let us know if you went to Spelman, Morehouse, CAU. Let us know. Do y'all have joint homecomings? Is it the whole AU
I want to say
homecoming
this, but I
situation?
don't know.
Because we may have to be in that thing.
We can host.
think you do.
And
That
they could-
sounds amazing.
Yes.
So because I didn't do the HBCU experience, I was thinking of doing like an HBCU homecoming tour. So I've done PV, I've done TSU. I wanted to do Greatest Homecoming on Earth. GHO, North Carolina A&T. We may have to take this thing on the road.
We might have
Shout out
to.
to Derek Emanuel, my old colleague. He told me he went to North Carolina A&T, and he was
I've
like,
never
"Oh, it's
heard
nothing
of
like it." Absolutely.
Yeah,
So-
I've never. And you know, to be honest, this is my first HBCU that I'll be attending.
Okay.
I went
Girl,
to
I
U of
didn't-
H both times.
Perfect. Well, then this is
Girl,
going
I
to be a
went to
first.
Lamar, so y'all already know.
This is going to be like a first of sorts for all of
It
us.
would be.
I love it.
I like
We're
it.
gonna get the postgraduate Black experience.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna do that.
I love it. Love it.
Go and finish this out, Amethyst. I'm
No,
sad.
no,
I'm
oh,
sad.
don't be sad
I
now.
am.
Kimby been having an attitude with me ever since I told her at brunch that I was leaving.
Like
Between her and JD Winters, they were like mugging me like the whole
Side eye.
Don't be sad.
Well, thanks
She's
again
gonna
for
go-
coming on the show. I'm
Yes.
coming to visit for
Yeah, and she's going to grow and flourish and do new
And
higher
you know,
heights.
but it's cool because Delta always got them cheap flights because Atlanta right around the corner, so it's all good.
or even Southwest.
I was gonna say sometimes
hello.
you can find Southwest because I already had to book my flight back to Houston because I'm performing at a gala on the 18th, and it was $130.
Okay,
Perfect.
Okay, I can
well,
just,
Gayla, we may have to slide through.
This is my
It's a,
budget.
Are they still selling tickets?
I believe so. It's a two-stepping gala. Like it's an organization that's trying to
I always
bring
wanted to do
two-stepping.
two-stepping.
Yeah,
Like
so
the Chicago style, like
yeah. So I will
oh,
be
like swing out. or
swing
something?
out. Thank you. Thank you.
So I will be.
That's cute.
And I will be performing while someone is swing out. Doing that.
Okay, so
It's
get
my-
you
you gonna have to come to my wedding and perform.
I
you know, I like that.
Oh no, we
concept.
already got her booked for my wedding. So me and her
We ain't
already
gonna get
With-
married
it's
the
with
same
Boo
day.
Bay, right?
Lawyer Bay.
Lawyer Bay. It's with her.
Anyway,
right?
that's another show. We ain't
I
gonna
was just
spread her
about to say
business.
y'all messy, and it's
Okay.
time to go.
Well, y'all, thank you for tuning in to another exhilarating, fabulous, fierce episode of All Things Beauty. You know how we do it here. We don't just talk about one thing beauty or just some things beauty, but all things beauty all the time and every week. Pace Poetry. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
and
y'all
sharing
for
with
having
Kimby
me.
and I. Tell the people bye, Kimby.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, Pace.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. See you next week.